To Beth Hutchison, who is the newly appointed Planning and Sustainability Manager for Visit Scotland. Now, Beth has been in the job since the beginning of November last year, and I'm asking her what she thinks about it. Tell me, Beth, what do you think about your job at Visit Scotland? What are the challenges?
It's a really exciting role to have. It combines planning and sustainability in the one role. So on the one side you have the planning, which is the operational planning, looking after the corporate plan for the organisation. And on the other side are looking after all the sustainable tourism aspects, which means greening Visit Scotland and also working with industry and key partners to really encourage and influence the introduction and the implementation of sustainability practices within industry.
So what you were telling me earlier on, Beth, is that this is very much a roots up approach. I mean, because you've got planning and sustainability in the same job, you're able to implement both parts of the process right at the very beginning.
Absolutely, it's very much an integrated approach to sustainable tourism. It's no longer seen as an add-on to the activity that we do. It's completely integrated to the organisation, and that's not just about the planning and sustainability team. The role that we have is to make sure that other areas of the business and other areas that we work with actually integrate sustainability practices throughout.
So also we were talking about Visit Scotland and the great firsts that you've actually made. I mean, in terms of establishing the Green Tourism Business Scheme and introducing the Sustainable Tourism Partnerships. What's the next steps for you, do you think?
I think really it's about looking at different ways of doing things. Obviously we were world leading in terms of developing GTBS, and that's been fantastic for us, and we've learned a lot about that. But I think it's about a joining up approach going forward. It's absolutely fantastic to have the Sustainable Tourism Partnership, and Visit Scotland itself are developing its own Sustainable Tourism Strategy. So it's about how our strategy can actually interlink with the other strategies of the organisations going forward.
Now, what do you think about the fact that Scotland might just be getting to a sort of calm bit of water as far as sustainability is concerned without any new interventions? What's the...
I think that's quite interesting. Obviously the economic climate isn't helping, where businesses are actually focusing on the here and now and the short term, and it's quite difficult to sell them concepts such as sustainable tourism. But I think it's about keeping it in their radar and keeping it on board and actually using different messages to sell it to them, and that might be, for example with GTBS, it's about the financial cost savings that they might accrue as a result of joining the scheme.
One of the things you said to me, and I think you were pretty strong about it, is the fact that Visit Scotland is doing a lot of stuff in terms of sustainability that doesn't get out to the wider audience. Now, give me some examples of that. I mean, and how important is this to you?
Absolutely, I think there's an awful lot of things that Visit Scotland are doing as an organisation in terms of sustainable tourism, and certainly things around seasonality and how we're, the campaigns that we run out the main season, encouraging people to come and encouraging diversification. These are all things that we're doing and encouraging, and actually working with the Sustainable Tourism Partnership. There's a lot of work going on there, and actually having the partnership in the first place is something that we really need to build upon and promote that out in the wider industry on people's radar. And I think it's actually about looking at different ways to achieve our goal, to make Scotland one of the most sustainable tourism destinations. It's not just about more of the same, it's about working together, looking at different things and looking at different approaches. And I think what has to be fundamental to that, and the driving force behind that, is research with consumers. What is it that consumers want, and how can we achieve that?
To you, sustainability is a really big term, isn't it? I mean, it probably affects everybody's actions right from the beginning until the end. Rather more than green, don't you think?
I think it's important for people to understand that sustainable tourism isn't just about being green. It's an absolutely fundamental part of it, but it's simply not just about being green. It's about the economic sustainability and the social sustainability as well, and it's important that each of those aspects are given the merit that they deserve, and actually educating and informing people about what that actually means, because I think sustainability is a very difficult concept.